It's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, another beer from the Lidl Craft Beer Festival, October 2021. This is Tin Man Tropical IPA in a 500ml can, coming in at 5.5% ABV by Williams Brothers Brewing Company. Now, I've had some of these big, some people call them tall boys, let's call it a tall boy. I've had some of these tall boy cans from Lidl, from Williams Brothers in fact, before, the Chocker Mocha Milk Stout. Thought it was pretty decent. And we had another one as well, I think it was a pale ale or something along those lines. And it was, again, pretty decent. So I've got high hopes for this one. It came in at £1.79 for the 500ml can. Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. I do like the Lidl Craft Beer Festival beers. They're pretty decent. So first things first, it's a lovely colour. It's a nice light looking, although it's getting darker as we're, slightly darker as we're pouring towards the bottom of the can there. It's still a pretty decent colour for a tropical IPA at 5.5% ABV. Light amber colour, slow moving carbonation, quite clear in the glass. 3-finger white head. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Rolling the beer around in the glass, you can see the carbonation chasing the beer up the head. To produce a beer at £1.79 in a 500ml can is in 2021 is absurd. It's absolutely absurd. But we'll get into the reasons why the breweries do that. Why they get involved with the Lidl Craft Beer Festival. We'll get into those reasons in a moment. But first of all, I want to get the aroma on the beer. Oh, it's very malty. Very malty. See, I always wondered, is it best for these breweries just to brew stouts and porters? The Chocker Mocha was pretty good at the price point for a 500ml can, the stout. This is, you can mask so much with a stout. You can, put a bit of roasted malt in there. You haven't got to add too many hops, which is the pricey thing in making beer these days. You can chuck a bit of roasted malt in there, make a stout, and you can probably get it for £1.79 a can, or Williams Brothers can get it down at that price point for £1.79 a can. But a tropical IPA, much more difficult thing to do. Much more difficult thing to do. It's very malty. It's got a bit of fairy liquid type aroma to it. This has got the aroma more of the Williams Brothers, like 330ml cans that you buy in Aldi. You know them beers that they look so promising and you buy them and they're not so promising after you've bought them. They're quite disappointing. This has got an air of Aldi Williams Brothers beer about it. Bit of a shame. Let's dive in. Let's see what it tastes like. Let's not rule it out before we've even tasted it. Tastes much better than the aroma. I was quite scared going into the taste of this. Actually, it's not too bad. Very drinkable, very refreshing. Ooh. I know I've been harsh in the past with some of these discount supermarket beers, and rightly so, but I'm open and honest enough to, I was going down the road of being very disappointed before I even tasted the beer, and I'm quite, well, of course this is why you tune in, because I'm as honest as the day is young. I can say the aroma isn't very good, but the taste is pretty... I'm pretty impressed with that, you know. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd still prefer a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, or, you know, a proper American Pale Ale, a British tropical IPA. But you're not going to get a British tropical IPA anywhere else for £1.79 a can, in a 500ml can at 5.5% ABV. It's just almost impossible to do. They've worked wonders with this beer, I've got to be honest. Williams Brothers have worked wonders with this. Quite shocked how good it is for the price point. For the price point. It's nicely carbonated. The carbonation pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth, releases more of that carbonation. It's an extremely drinkable, refreshing beer. It really is. It's light and biscuity and malty. It's got a nice bitterness on the back end. This is more like it, Williams Brothers. Unfortunately, well, we did the double joker, didn't we? For the Lidl Craft Beer Festival, the last Lidl Craft Beer Festival, I think it was back in the summer. We did the double joker, which it was a decent double IPA, I think it was. And this is pretty decent too. It just shows you that the Williams Brothers, when they want to produce craft beer for these discount supermarkets, when they really want to, they can produce good beer. And I'm going to tell you why I think this is good beer. Because there's a lot of people now looking at Lidl's Craft Beer Festival all over the UK, and people are buying it by the bucket load. And a lot of people will be coming across Williams Brothers for the first time. So it's a great advert for the company. A really good advert. It's a really good, like, oh, you know, man down in Oxford, for argument's sake, goes to his local Lidl, picks up a Tin Man from Scotland, never heard of Williams Brothers before. Next thing you know, he's dialing into their website, he's ordering 6 cases of beer. That's how the world works these days. So I think companies like Williams Brothers Brewing Company can make beer like this break even, or maybe even at a loss, as an advert for their own company. And I think that's what's happened here. The head honcho of the Totes Mick range, this tribal IPA is pale and powerful with heavy hitting tropical notes. Based in Alloa in Scotland, 500ml can, 5.5% ABV. Pick it up in your local Lidl Beer Festival. For the price point, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this whatsoever. If you're expecting, though, this tropical IPA to be tasting like your tropical IPA you buy in your bottle shop for £6 a can, £7 a can, don't bother. Don't bother, because it's not going to taste like that whatsoever. This is a really kind of dumbed down version of a tropical pale ale. But it's still, I think for the price point, I still think it's pretty good. I like that. I like that enough to give it, for the price, weighing up that 179, 500ml can, 5.5% ABV. Pretty hoppy and nicely balanced with the malt. That's an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.